So we're here on the Northwest River Trail. Look at this trail, the Northwest River Trail. Thinking of Lebanon, we're not at the Lebanon Valley Rail Trail. That's where we were going to go, but we decided to come to the Northwest River Trail, and lo and behold, after so many miles, after thousands of miles, really, we have a front flat. Look at that. Can you see that? That thing is flat. We came around the corner. Our corner was right over there. Came around and I heard a psst. And I've heard that sound before. So we are gonna get the front. Thank heavens it's the front wheel. So we don't have to worry about the connection to the rear mounted motor. So we're going to take this off, lean it against the basket. I'm going to flip this around, and again, it's the front wheel, not the rear wheel, so it's going to be a little easier. There we go. Okay. So it's this wheel. Let's see. Take that out. And in one of these side bags, I have a kit for flats. And of course, I picked the medical side, so that's just bandages and polysporin and everything.
I don't think that'll help.
I could put the kit on the tube.
Whoa. I think that was 1 dozen.
So I don't have an adjustable wrench. I actually have a real wrench. Craftsman, made in the U.S., forged in the USA. Old school Craftsman I got many years ago. And we are going to go ahead and start removing this wheel. A little turn at a time. You don't unscrew the whole nut off the thread. Just do a little bit at a time on each side. There we go. And that keeps the axle from spinning. Okay. We're going to do this. Okay, it was still caught on there. These are nice lock washers because they actually have little ears that go inside those little holes. So if the nuts do get loose, it doesn't come out, which is really,
Nice.
really nice.
Very nice.
So, little kit I have here for
Tire repair.
tire repair. And I have, instead of a pump, I'm kind of a little bit lazy in my older days here. I have an adapter for these CO2 cartridges, and I use the CO2 cartridges for inflating the tire. They work fantastically. I agree. If I forget the CO2 cartridges, it can be a bothersome thing. So hopefully that doesn't happen. And I can do one of two ways. I can pull the tire and change the tube. Or I could pull the tire and I could fix the tube. But I am going to change the tube because, and there again, because it's going to be easier for us. We won't have to worry about it, me not doing the tube repair correctly, and just put a new tube in. But it easily can be. So now I'm gonna, if you can come in here and see, I'm gonna do this. Hook the tire and then hook it around a spoke. Go just a little bit further out and get it hooked into the tire again. Go around like that. And then I'm going to take it all around and loosen the tire. Okay. I'm going to keep the tube. I want to make sure that nothing went through the casing. And looking at that, checking it out there. There was some, I don't know, little weeds or things from a bush in there. And I went ahead and I'm going to go on the inside of the tire casing to feel for anything pointed that might be going through the tire casing. That's what I do there. I also check out making sure this is not real dry rotted or cracked, where it could actually come out of the rim as well. If you feel something pointy, you want to check that and see where that pointed thing is, and just make sure that you get everything from that thorn or nail or whatever tack or whatever it is out of the casing. Okay. I found a little cut at the a little problem here at the valve stem.
So what's that mean?
There was. So the valve stem had a cut in it. So we're going to just put that tube aside, get a new tube out.
Over there.
And we'll put the adapter onto the CO2 cartridge.
Okay.
Okay. We're going to put the CO2 cartridge. Okay. It's sort of like a pipe. We'll put the CO2 cartridge right on here. I'm just going to inflate it just a little bit because I want to give the tube some body so I can put it back in the tire. We can put the tire on the wheel and put the wheel back on the bike, and we're on our way.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay. yeah. I find these CO2 inflators are really, really easy to use. You can get different volumes of these CO2 cartridges, so you can get them for any width. Let me make the tire. Okay. Put this tube right back in there like that. And we are going to look at that. And we're going to make sure that we are getting the right orientation for tread. Right there says rotation on the tire.
Okay.
Okay. So this tire is going to rotate this way when it goes forward. So we want it to be going this way. Since rotation is that way, we're going to turn it this way. And it's not a real big deal if it doesn't.
I'm confused, but
If it,
I'm glad you're not.
it doesn't. Not every tire, but a lot of tires have directions that they should rotate for tread, for water.
And you put that rotation towards the back of the bike.
I put it so that when the wheel propels you forward, it's going to spin this way.
Okay.
Okay? And then that's where we're going. So, and I'm going to put the first bead. These are called beads right here. Right here. Put this on here. Put the second bead back on the tire. Yeah.
I don't see the bead.
This is the bead right here.
Okay.
And that's the bead. The bead is where the wire is. The wire's underneath there to hold this. Again, this is a wired on tire. People have wireless or, beadless tires. That's not what this is. So the reason it's fighting me is because the tube itself is a little bit smaller. See, I started at the valve stem. Okay. And I'm going to let some of the air out of this. So it's a little easier. Yeah. I'm muscling this. And sometimes you can pop it on just with your hands, which is fine. You can always use the tire lever. Get it underneath there. And give it a yumps. Just like that. There you go. And you got it on there. And now we're going to inflate it. There we go. So basically, you screw this onto the valve stem, and then you just give it a little gentle turn until you hear that hissing, and you see the tire start to inflate. The tire gets body. Okay. And when you do this, the CO2 cartridge is going to get cold. Not a big deal. And you look around right here, all around the wheel as you're doing this, to make sure that the edge of the tire isn't coming up over the edge of the rim. Very good. Nice. Super. Nice. A little tight. That's okay.
Well, they used to mine it from like recent roofing machines and everything. But you could only like.
There you go.
This is what I understand. Like talking to people, it's like you can only get it to break clean the way you want when you first pour it.
Hour and a half or 2 hours away.
But then like once it sits, kind of like what we just did.
Yeah. But not very.
There we go. Look at that. It's tight. It was tight on there. Okay. All right. So we are going to put the wheel back on exactly the way we took it off, which what I mean by that is there's little washers in here in between the hub and the fork, and those are spaced. Those are used as spacer washers just to make sure that it's got the spacing, the distance between the fork and the other fork, and the distance between the hub parts. It aligns almost perfectly, so it just slides in. Okay. Do that. There we go. And same with the other side. Yeah. To tighten the nuts, we're going to use the wrench, and again we're going to tighten them both. Not exactly at the same time. If we did have 2 wrenches, we would try to tighten the nuts at the same time, but it's okay. We'll just go back and forth. There we go. A little bit at a time. And as you do that, you will feel this thing, the wheel nuts tighten up. You kind of try to get them the same level of tightness. And again, you can use an adjustable wrench. There's small adjustable wrenches. If you're using nutted bolts, if you have quick release, you can just pop it off, quick release it. There we go.
And Alice is back on the bike and out on the trail.